Hey guys, Allison here. We're back again. Just wrapped up round one of qualifying, four-wheel drive. A lot of changes from the two-wheel drive. We've only got, I think, two of the same guys from the last previous A main. It looks like Carson and Mayfield are taking over for the U.S. team this time. Jason, your thoughts? We got Bruno and Tom and Mikhail in the lead this time.
Yeah, what I think is most interesting about this one is five guys came out of the B qualifier that have top 10 runs, which is really impressive, I think. The other impressive thing is Bruno was the only one, I think, with a relatively clean run. Everyone else had a bobble or two. Maybe Tom's was good and clean. And Mayfield had two mistakes. One was kind of just a flat land and flip over. He had to be turn marshaled. One was he got caught in the stutter bumps a little bit, and he kind of flipped the car around on his own, like just by hitting it wide open. And he recovered, got an eighth. I still think that we have a big gap up here in the second through fifth position that I think guys can jump into. I mean, it shouldn't be unrealistic to think that some of these guys are going to put in a little better runs next time and get a little closer to that 18 lapper. And I think that's what's the most interesting thing at this point is, there's kind of a big gap between 1 and 2 right now.
Yeah, we didn't quite make to 18. We did get a 17.5 flat, but like you said, the next couple guys were 5.05. There was 4 guys at 5.05, and then Mayfield and the other guys coming in from the previous qualifiers. So, and then what do we have down in the 15, 16, 17. Then we got the rest of the Team USA, Cavalieri, Dustin Evans, Tebow even making a little further down the rankings.
Yeah, what's interesting is obviously it's apparent that the U.S. guys are strong in two-wheel drive, and in four-wheel drive they're going to need a little extra work. I know the Associated guys have been thrashing every run, trying to make the B44 a little bit better. They're getting there. I think that they've made an improvement. Spencer was actually on a good run. He had an 06 going, and wheel nut came off, which is that happens in the four-wheel drive cars because usually happens on the left side, I believe, because when you hit the brakes, it wants to unscrew the wheel nut. And if you don't have those things really good and tight, they will come off. And he's not the only one that's had that happen. So that was probably about 3/4 of the way through the race. So he threw away a really good run there. I mean, if he would have had an 06, he was in the thick of things. So Dakota Fenn crashed on the last lap. He was on an 07. So, if you look, you got 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 is all the USA drivers right now. And I think we'll see them get up there. David Ronfalk, who was kind of like nowhere to be found in the two-wheel class, is like now he's competitive. One of the guys with an 05, fourth. And, Lee Martin is still hanging in there. He's got an 11 for the round. He's doing pretty well, but, it's interesting. Some guys have the speed to make a little mistake, and other guys don't. Some guys can do those 17.4s, 17.5s. That's where you need to be in the top 3. But to TQ, realistically, you need to be maybe a little quicker than that. So we'll see how this goes. Tessman obviously kind of came back from his two-wheel drive racing. I think he was in the D main in two-wheel, and now he's sitting in 7th with. And I'm sure these aren't their best runs either. So. We have some room here for guys to move up and improve. Our top seed, Segura, he's 10th. So he was leading that race for a little while, and he made 2 mistakes. And it just shows you how much it changes when you go from 3 laps to 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think things will definitely change as we go through further on in the day. Now, something you can't really see on camera is that the temperatures change. It's a lot hotter here than it was past 2-3 days or so. If we were outside, it was really windy a couple days as well. So we do have those things that we don't have to contend with as much as we would on an outside race. But do you think that heat and temperature change would affect the turf and those driving for the drivers as well?
It looks a little bit harder to me to flat land right now. The guys used to look a little more comfortable flat landing the cars and driving out really hard. And I think that guys are being a little bit more delicate than they were before, and it's causing some traction roll issues. And, I look for that to maybe get a little bit, I hope it gets better later in the day. Maybe it cools down. Maybe that has something to do with it. The other thing is that being this hot is the cars are getting extremely hot and warm inside. Like when I picked up Ryan's car after that race, you could just feel the chassis was burning hot. And, he's not the only one. Everyone's super hot inside, got fans. So We'll see. Hopefully the electronics hold out here. Some guys have 4.5 motors, 5.0s, 5.5. So, you're looking at a pretty serious power there, and keeping it cool is going to get critical.
All right, great. Well, yeah, it's only 12:30 here, so it could cool off a little bit more in the day. One more thing.
Yeah, a little shout out to Mikhail Orlowski. He's in the third spot here, and I think. There is a little bit of a feel there with him, similar to Spencer, where if things kind of went his way, he might be able to win this thing. He's a younger driver. He's had success twice on the EOS series this year, and then at the European Championships, he won four-wheel drive. So this guy is no stranger to the top spots, and if he can qualify towards the top, and you never know what could happen. He could be our next Spencer of the four-wheel drive class. So we'll see.
Official prediction?
Official prediction?
Is that what you're going with?
No, I picked Naoto to win this class, and I guess that's a good thing of note with him is he was on a 2 for the round. He was the only guy earlier on an 18-lap pace in the race. He kind of crashed down to a 01, 02. He was all over the place there, and I think he was in second, and then he had a malfunction in the car somewhere. We think it's a servo. He's losing some connection with the servo, or the servo's losing power, and he just went straight into the chicane like he had no steering. Went right into the wall, no steering. So my pick is so far probably in last because of the servo problem. But no, he finished about 4 minutes. So, but I see him coming back strong. If they get their electronics, it looks like he's been working around here with his sponsors, trying to get that sorted out. And he's going to be a threat before it's all said and done.
All right, a lot of threats out there, a lot of fast racing. So we'll see what happens next.